Morning, guys. Johnny, Mr. Forexfire. It is now the 26th of January, Thursday morning. It's roughly 20 past 8. A little bit late on this morning due to the fact, for some reason, Google decides to not let me in on any websites or anything that has passwords. For some reason, they sort of delete everything every so often, which I don't know why. So it's took my time to get onto here. So what I'm going to do is we're going to set things up and we'll just reset everything, and I'll walk you all through what we do on a morning. Okay, so we've got the Euro USD. We go to the hour. We put on our kill zone box. We can put on the ICT midnight. From there, vertical line. That's the midnight. It is 20 past 8 on a Monday, a Thursday morning. Sorry, but we're going to change this to New York. And then from there, we go down to the 15 minute. And we just put in horizontal rear with the magnet and the drawing tool. So we go today's high, take off that, today's low. And then all we do is just update this. We have it as today's high. There's today's high there. And then we change this to today's low. And it's as simple as that. Again, we look back on yesterday's price action. We can see we've had a price move out of yesterday, of the yesterday's high. So we could have gotten in on a great trade the early hours of this morning, to be fair, based upon the structure on this, you know. And then we have yesterday's low. So I can do a previous day low. I can set that one up. PDL. That's a PDL there. I can't do the previous day high because we've actually broke that. But if I move this down into structure, okay, we can see if there is possibly any kind of trade it could have been mitigated into. And we have a breaker structure here, just, okay, just so we can watch a bit of playback. Got a fair value gap to there. Just take that magnet off. That's it there. And you can see it actually came into here, mitigated, and then it's moved down. So that would have been an entry there. Stop loss could have been above that. And again, target a 1 to 2. Yeah, you could have had a 2.5, to be fair. So we've missed out on the Euro USD. But again, I only want to trade these into, like I say, the kill zone areas. So we've got that. We've got the kill zone set up. We've got the midnight boxes. I've got the GMT. And just looking at this as well, we'll go back on the 15 minutes. I've got the midnight, so that's the midnight open. We've got midnight open from yesterday. So even though we've got a today's low, we could still target this area as a fresh area to come in as a reset. Again, we've got the New York open as well as the midnight open of yesterday, and we've got a previous day low. If I take this up onto a daily, we can see we've just been spiking massively. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And again, below here, we've got some sell side liquidity on that daily there. I just want to have a quick look on the weekly, see if there's any targets up here as a fresh. There's no fair value gaps there as such, but we do have buy side liquidity residing here on a weekly, and also, in fairness, we've got some up here, but that's a mile away of that, to be honest. Come back down to the 1 hour. You can see we might actually end up playing into this today before we get a spike down. Go on to 15 minutes. Click auto on the chart. Again, I don't want to be off-putting with too many colors today, so I'm just going to minimize this down. We'll take that down. We'll go on to the GBP USD. We'll go to the GBP USD today. That's the euro. GBP USD. Again, we've taken out the previous day high now. So I'm just going to minimize all of this. We're going to go back up to the hour. And we're going to repeat the process. So go on to midnight. Drill it to a 15-minute. Go on to the horizontal rear with the magnet. We've now got it today's high. And we've got, today's low. So once again, I mean, this does get, trading is meant to be boring and monotonous, you know, you just got to repeat, rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat. So we've got today's low. Okay, we've taken out the yesterday's previous day high, so we don't have to do anything on this side. Or we can put that there and put the PDL in. And again, I just want to have a look at this. We're on a roundabout here, so we could be targeting up here at the moment for today. So again, as an aspect, we've got buy side liquidity here. We've already taken out this area already. Let's go up to the daily just to see what we're doing on the daily candles. Again, there's your buy side liquidity. See what? So I mean, I only did that on the hourly. So there's buy side liquidity there. Again, from here down to here, there is a fair value gap. We're bouncing into that again, but we haven't fully mitigated into it and we've got to remember we're on a daily on this. So there is obviously trend line liquidity here. We've got buy side liquidity all through this fair value gap. So we'll leave that marked up. And with that in mind, we'll just minimize that a bit. We'll have that in black. Go back down to the 15-minute. Click auto on the chart. Let's have a look at, that's a different trade I've got from the other day on something else I was looking at. So it looks as if the pound's gaining strength today, to be fair. Again, let's get rid of what we drew. We can have the vertical. We're taking out the previous day high on here, you know, so that's the 15-minute. Horizontal rear, so that's today's high. Today's low is more or less where the open is. So today's low is at the open. That's today's low. And then again, we've got a PDL, which is the previous day low. And then what we need to do is go back up to the 1 hour. Got buy side liquidity here. Go up to the daily. That could stretch right out to that, to be fair. We've got a huge imbalance area up here. Clear this out. Go back down to 1 hour. Click auto. So again, down to 15 minutes. Because we've broken the previous day high, go back on that 1 hour. Because we've broken the previous day high here, there is a run of play for structure for a trade, to be fair, you know. So there's the kill box starting to come in now. Click on auto. So we've had a run of play here. And again, I want to be careful today for one of two reasons. I'm going to put the fair value gaps. So we've got some 2-minute fair value gaps in here. Okay, so here's a possibility of a short run about there. And again, we could just run for a 1 to 1.5 just to see if that would play out. I'm not going to enter this trade just yet because I want to see some more movements, to be fair. We've taken out the previous day high with this today's high, okay? So what I've done there is I've got the 2-minute fair value gap. So it's going to open up price a bit more with regards to what we're looking at. We'll see, we'll get an entry here and we'll see if we get it to come down to, in fact, see if we can grab a 1 to 2 out of it. Euro USD, we've got today's high. And again, from this aspect, break a structure. A 2-minute fair value gap. You could run that up to here. So 1 to 3. So 1 to 2. We'll see if that'll play out as well. Again, I'm going to be testing. I'm not too sure about obviously getting into live trades. I do want price to come through the London Open first of all. We're just going to see first if we can get this on a 1 to 2 return. The Euro USD. We'll see if we'll get a touch into this fair value gap here. And we'll keep within structure of like I say, where the fair value gap is just above the candle to the left. Okay, again, it might not hold structure, just something I need to do forward testing. We haven't had a break of structure down here just yet, so this wouldn't come into my trading plan, albeit we've left a 2-minute fair value gap there. I'm just gonna put the trading plan on this chart here. And that's us set up, guys. I'll pause the video. We'll be back in a short while. We'll see if any of these two trades have played out. Chance for a 4% move. And then, in fact, what we'll do is, I just want to get the trading sheet up because I want to show you something. So this is what we've got at the minute from yesterday, the trading journal dashboard. Okay, we took a trade late on the other day in the New York. We got the account back up into some nice profits. So overall, we're in good profits. 8 trades, 6 wins, 2 losses. We've got a 75% win rate. This is what I want to show you at the moment. Okay, yes, it says it's only 0.5% growth, but we have only been risking. And just bear this in mind, we have only been risking on each trade 0.10%. Okay, so we've won 6, we've lost 2. Okay, and we've only been risking 0.10%. Now, with that, bearing that in mind, with regards to the journal, I'm just going to show you the power of what we've been learning. Okay, so take note in here, we've got the wins and we've got 2 losses. And this is what we've been risking per trade. Okay, this is the maximum risk to reward. So what we need to do is, if we get our calculator on, let's say we risked 1% per trade rather than the 0.10. So we got a full percent risk. So that first one won. So it's 1.57 because we're going for the full 1%. You plus the 1, you plus the 2 because that one, you plus the 1. This one here lost, so we go -1. This one here lost, so it's a -1%. Okay, and then we got plus a 1.56. That's, and then we got a big, nice 2.9, which would have been a 2.9%. So if we've been risking 1% while we've been learning on each trade, the total amount, let's see if I can get this on, the total amount on growth on this account over 3 days would be just over 8%. Okay, so this here, this would be on around about 8% growth. Now, bearing in mind when you do any of these challenges or anything else on FTMO, especially my Forex funds, which is what I've got, I do actually have my Forex funds account, a live funded account. You only need 8% to pass phase 1, you know, and we've done that. We've gotten 8% on this within 8 trades. And not only within 8 trades, we've done it within let's get this in, the 23rd to the 25th. So we got 1, 2, 3 days. We would have gotten a phase 1 pass within 3 days. Now that's fantastic, you know. Let's have a look where we're at the moment. Again, we would have tagged in an entry. This is a risk to reward of 1 to 2. We didn't enter this. And we've got another one here. So again, guys, the strategy in this method is fantastic. It looks as if we're going to get 2% here, and it looks as if we're going to get a 2% here. You know, so again, what I'm going to do is I'm going to pause the video. We'll be back in a short while. We'll see if we can get any more movement in a bit. Maybe in hindsight, I should have entered those trades because we could have had a belt and start to this morning. Later on today, anybody who is trading, you need to be extremely careful because there's a lot of USD news. So I don't know whether I'm going to be trading. I don't think I'm going to be trading the New York session simply because of this. I'm going to protect what we've got. It makes sense because at the end of the day, we've made some great movement, you know. Again, on paper, this doesn't look like much at all with a 0.52. But if we had been risking that 1% of trade, this account will be well over 8% growth. And again, I want to take this slow and steady because after all, this is week 2 of me learning this. But the first week I was just watching and digesting how to do this. The second week, which we're in now, I've only been trading this for 3 days. And again, to be able to get an account to a potential of 8%, yes, we have been risking minimal and only got a 0.5%. It just shows you the power of what this method and what this strategy can sort of give you, you know. So just before we pause the video, we'll have a look. We've got a break there. So again, this could be another short. So I don't know whether there's one there, like sort of hold here. I'm not too sure on this one, to be fair. But we'll see if we can play. Give it a 2%. So we've got, that's an old trade, I can get rid of that. We've got a trade here, which is what we're following at the moment. We haven't entered it just as yet. A 1 to 2, it's easily give a 1% back there. We've got the Euro USD, it's sort of meandering around. Again, I like it for my trading plan, for me to get an entry after 9 o'clock, because you can get a lot of fake movements just before the build-up. And then we've got a trade here, so we'll hold and we'll see what these come to fruition, if they come to fruition or not. So I'm going to pause the video. We'll be back in a short while, guys. Hopefully just after 9 a.m. so we can try and look for these trades. I'll see you in a bit. Wow, this is crazy, guys. This method I've been looking at and learning. I'm telling you, it's crazy. 2% there. Next chart, 2% there. Next chart, 2% there. I should have entered these because we were on yellow boxes. I didn't get in on them. However, that doesn't matter. Again, I'm forward testing. So again, when we look back on what we've got on here, if I was risking 1% per trade on these instead of the 0.10, that would have been 8% plus your other 6, you got 9, 10, 11, 14% we would be at on the account inside of 4 days. 14% inside of 4 days. That's fun. It's fantastic. And in fact, when you look back on what, just a sort of pause for thought here a minute. So when you look at what my Forex funds is, it's 8% to obtain a pass on phase 1. So that 8% that we had from yesterday in a couple of days, that 8% would have been phase 1 pass from 3 days going back. Okay, today I would have come on the computer. Your second phase only needs a 5% or 4%, I do believe, and I would have gotten it there. I would have been a fully funded trader within within 4 days of trading this system. That's just, it's mind-boggling. It's absolutely mind-boggling. And to think as well, when you look at these, the risks and things, it's minimal. You're in and out of a trade. Let's just have a look. We're in and out of a trade within seconds. Where are we at? So we're looking at candles entry. So you're looking there, 10 minutes. From entry, 17 minutes. From entry down to this candle, so 17 minutes. 25 minutes, 25 minutes, and I would have been of the day, 25 minutes of the day trading altogether, and we would have been a phase 2. That's it's absolutely insane. I wish I'd entered them now, just obviously document them. But hey ho, we've got it on video. I'm live recording the stream as I'm doing this. This is only meant to be, like I say, a forward test. I want to collect so much data, but in my official first week of trading this, it's been phenomenal. You could have been a fully funded trader in the first week, and I've never really traded these ICT concepts. The only reason why I believe I've taken to it and understand the flow of the price action on it is simply because of my obviously background that I do have. I've traded for like I say 5 years, and at least 2 of those years I've been using like a smart money concept, which is what this is derived, where smart money is derived from this technique, you know. So I'm taken away by this, to be fair. Again, we're coming down to today's low, so we may get in on a reversal, a possible reversal there. We're coming down for to take today's low here as well, and we're about halfway point on this. So I'm going to pause the video, guys. I'm going to go and make a cup of tea. I think I might just use this video today as an educational thing. I'll have a look at some more trades. I don't want to get a rush of blood and get in on something because I've had 3 trades like that just happen to me. We've got to learn to be able to control our emotions when we're trading. So for today, I'm going to take a step back, and I'm going to mark them up for sure. But again, I don't want to get into, yes, we've won 3 trades at 6%. I need to get the next one because the next one's going to do the same. We just don't want to let the emotions run wild, you know. So I'm going to go and make a cup of tea. We'll be back in a short while. There'll not be any New York session today later on, simply because of all the news. Happy with what we've got, considering we've got, like I say, the build-up of the last 3 days of the other day from this week, we've only been risking 0.11%, but if we had a percent per trade on that, we would have had 8% on them few days, and then today we would have had a phase 2 pass. So I know what I'm going to be doing moving forward very shortly. Again, I need to be able to extensively forward test this. A week's worth of testing is not good enough. We need to get some good data, and certainly in time, what I'm going to be doing, I'm going to be putting this into the Discord group that we've got. And I think the way I've been learning it, the way I've been trading it, the way I've been setting it up, and the way I've got the trading plan put down, I'm going to be sort of putting this into the Discord for certain. And I may also start to do some live videos in there as well, once I restructure a few other things as well. I'm just blown away by it, to be brutally honest. Go back onto the share screen. I'll pause the video and we'll be back in a very short while, guys. A very short while. Hi guys, back again. So it's roughly about London time, 9:25, as you can see in the top right hand corner here. New York time, it's around about 4:25 in the morning. So I'm just going to change the New York time to London, because I'm not going to trade into the New York open today, just solely because, like I said, we go back onto the Forex news, which I posted up on the Discord. It's just far too much USD news this afternoon for my liking. So again, I'm going to protect what we have got, and so far so good. Enjoying this session this week, most certainly. Like I say, we would have grabbed the 2% here, we would have gotten the 2% here, and we would have gotten the 2% there. But with regard to the fence posts, we stake into the ground on the morning, okay? As you see from what I've been doing on the setup, we're waiting for these breaks on the highs and lows. But more so, what's more important and what's sort of cemented more structure-wise is the fact of a daily high or the previous daily low gets taken. So that's where these are more or less derived from, you know. So again, there is a price momentum shift you can do with regards to trading. Like we've had a break of structure there, we've left a fair value gap there, but like I say again, go for like a 1 to 2, but I wouldn't actually take this one, simply for the reason being is I'm waiting for the break of structure on the reversal. So this, you could have a price momentum shift on it. You've had your fair value gap, you've got just above the candle high, you get an entry and then a return back down on a price momentum movement. But again, I'm not interested in that sort of trade on this or this method as such. I wait for the breaks of liquidity grab, and then I wait for the reversal back down for, like I say, the displacement, leaving behind the fair value gap. I mean, this could quite easily still come to fruition. It may come up to test the 2 minutes, and then it may do a price momentum continue down, you know. But that's not what I'm focusing on at the moment. And with that in mind, you know, obviously we go back, we are stuck within a range still on this, on the GBP, Japanese yen. We go up to the 15 minutes. You know, we've got the daily low there, which is the opening of midnight, and then we had a good spike of price movement. Let's get rid of that. Good spike of price movement, which took out the previous daily high, and then we come down and we entered on a lower time frame, you know. So again, this is stuck within a range on the 15 minute, which is where we set up the fence posts. Go down to 1 minute. Again, we've had the momentum shift and the price to come back in to those 2 minute fair value gaps. This one at the moment, which is the GBP USD, we've got a new today's low, so I could move this down to here, but structure wise, I'm ideally waiting for a return back up above that area at the moment as it stands, you know. We go to the Euro USD, same again, we've left behind two minute fair value gaps. We've got a new today's low. Structure wise, when I'm looking at trading into these areas or looking for these patterns, I'm sort of waiting or trading up to around 11 o'clock at the latest in the morning. We've got about an hour and a half away from that. But with that being said, I'm going to cut this video short now because I'm happy with what I set out to do today. I've shown you, like I say, I've shown you the data sheet that I'm doing, which is collecting the data. Yes, we have had 8 trades, 6 wins, 2 losses, but on small minimal risks while I'm forward testing this. Again, this is officially my first week of doing this method, doing this plan, doing this structure. Those 6 wins, if I put a percent risk per trade, would have equated to over 8%, which you've seen earlier in the video, which would have been a first phase my Forex funds pass, which would have been done yesterday. I would have come to the chart today, and just to go back on what I was talking about earlier, I would have come back onto today with my phase 2 in effect, and the 3 trades that I set up on these ring fences today, it's 2% there. We've got a 2% there, and we've got a 2% there. So in essence, I would have done a full evaluation on my Forex funds, whether it's what 5k, 10k, 20 odd k, 50k, 100k. Like I said, it's all the same evaluation throughout. You could be sitting there now, past my Forex funds on a like I say 100k evaluation or even a 5k evaluation, and done that within 4 days using this method. And again, this is just something that I've been watching. I've been sort of put myself through and looking at on ICT concepts, watching certain things on his videos and following the guide that he set out and told and structure you to. I haven't even started with his mentorship of 2023 because he's not officially doing his daily recordings on that until around about the 7th of February, you know. Yes, in hindsight, when I'm looking at this, I may have a little bit of an advantage because I understand structure to a certain degree. Again, I'm not perfect, nobody is, but we learn with each process that we go through. And like I say, looking at this from a bird's eye view, just looking at what I've done here this week alone, if you had that initial 1% risk per trade, which a lot of traders out there will do, there's a lot of traders out there that say they'll only risk 1% a trade, that there is deemed a pass on an evaluation phase. Again, for me, because I'm very methodical and I like to take my time, I've only been risking a 0.10 per risk. So again, the percentage here doesn't look very big, but going on what you see on this trading journal, okay, the risk to reward, what could have been returned, where are we at? This maximum risk to reward is what it is if you risk the full percent. And you can see in here, this is all I was risking per trade. This one here was a one that I entered in by accident, in all fairness, but I got out in profits. But again, if I'd risked a percent each trade, I would have gained all of this. Like I say, it's mind-boggling. And moving forward, what I'm going to be doing as well, there's another concept I've got with this that is structured towards people that can't be at the charts much. So I'm basing the fence posts within a daily or like that today's sort of swing points. I've got one which goes on the previous days, and I've got a great back testing sheet for this where you put your date, your pair, your long short, your risk, your profit loss, and then you put in, this will add up your accumulative balance. You can put in your before and after trade shots on here, and it's going to calculate your total profit, monetary wise. It's going to do your percentage growth. It's going to give you your wins, your losses, and your total trades, and it'll also work out your win rate. And on here, on the notes, obviously you don't want to delete this first aisle of because it's got a calculation in there, and then it's going to give you an equity curve as well. So we've got some fantastic stuff building up on what I'm doing. And if you're not inside the Discord that I've got right now, this moving forward in the momentum and the shift that I'm going to be doing this year within the forexfire Discord, you need to be in there, because there's going to be, this is going to just, it's going to explode with loads of engagement and excitement, you know. So that's it for me on the video for this week of forexfire trading. I hope you've enjoyed the videos. Again, I'm going to protect what I've got today. I'm happy with what I've attained with the forward testing. And when we look at it from like the baby steps are just risking minimal amount, when I go back on the data and I've looked at it as if I was trading it the way I would a normal account, where I'm obviously risking those percents, or even if it was 0.5%, that there for me is massive. It's a massive what's the word? It's a massive tick in the box. I can't think of the word I'm thinking of. A massive tick in the box to say that the method works, as long as it all boils down to one thing or two things when you're trading. It's keeping the discipline and it's keeping a positive mindset, okay? Because once you veer off that path and start saying, well, I can get on this, if it doesn't come into whatever that trade plan is, do not trade it. You collect your data, and that is the whole point of this here. You collect your data and you can see on your back testing sheet, which is what this is going to be, you can see what is working for you. The ones that lose, you go back and you analyze and you see what went wrong. This was the whole purpose of me doing this video this week, vlogging my journey, because now whenever I lose, I go back on that particular day's video and I can see what I've done structure-wise visually, because I'm a very visual trader. A lot of people like to just read what needs to be done and then can portray that on the charts. For me, I like to read, but I also like to visually see it in front of my eyes. And again, guys, like I said, fantastic stuff. So that's me signing off for this week. I hope you're going to have a fantastic weekend. I'm going to go make myself a nice cup of tea, a sandwich, and I'm going to enjoy a movie this morning, I think. Okay. So if you're not inside the group and you're not inside the Discord, give me a shout. If someone has shared this video or put you in front of this video, get back to that person who's shared this content with you, and we'll get you inside of what we have here. Okay, it's a very active group. Everybody is always sharing the knowledge and what they're doing in their journey, and we've got a massive amount of different things in here. Okay, guys, and what's best is it's right now it's a free resource to get in on there. Okay, so again, guys, my name has been John Duckley, Mr. Forexfire, signing off. I'll see you later.